And before. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Avery with Tea Reviewing 2, and today we're doing a special video, my top 10 favorite teas in the 2019 DAVIDsTEA Advent Calendar. And first, before we start our top 10s, we're going to jump into the honorable mentions. Then we're going to go 10 through 1, with 10 being the lower on, of course, on the scale, and 1 being number 1 favorite in the Advent Calendar. Let's jump into the honorable mentions. Just so you know, like about me, my favorite teas just overall in general are green tea and white tea. Those are the two I gravitate towards, so that's the only kind of, I guess, bias in a sense that may come out in this. And you know, I really like Rooibos a lot, and I'm not anti any of the other ones. I like Oolongs, I like black teas, I like pu-erhs, and those are just like my favorites, just so you know. But let's jump into the honorable mentions. The first one we've got here is Maple Syrup Oolong. Now, I did a review video on this one. You can check that out and the links and everything. And this one, buttery, maple syrup, those flavors, they definitely got right in this one. I say it's like a breakfast tea. If you are looking for something a little bit more savory, you got some French toast, some pancakes, something, I don't know, something like that, then this would be a good tea to gravitate towards. It's an oolong tea, but the flavors in there definitely bring out the syrup and the butter, and yeah, this is a breakfast tea. Even kind of reminds you of coffee a little bit in a sense. That is the first honorable mention. Next honorable mention, right here, green passion fruit. Now, like I said, you know, green tea is my favorite kind of tea, so sometimes with the green tea blends, I don't like them as much when the green tea goes away and everything else just kind of takes over in the tea. And this is one that this happened, and not in a way that was like, okay, I'm all right that the green tea was taken over because the other flavors were really good. And now this one, yeah, the flavors in here were really good. You know, there's some fruit flavors, but it's so sweet to me. And the other flavors took over with the fruitiness and the sweetness. It was just like a really fruity, sweet green tea. The green tea was very much in the background, just fruit, sweetness, not in a bad way. I mean, I know I'm saying that like it's super negative. It's an honorable mention, so that means I did like it in a sense, but not enough to be in the top 10. That is green passion fruit. Now, let's jump into, I think we have one more honorable mention. Yep. Next honorable mention, cream of Earl Grey. Now, this one, it had the smoothness up front of the cream, you know, and I didn't have the black tea that came in as well. I would appreciate like some more creaminess maybe, or some more black tea. Both would be obviously the ideal situation, but this was kind of like a little bland, not super bland. Like I said, it's an honorable mention. That means I did like it. It's just, I want a little bit more of it. Not like in volume, of course, but in the flavor notes and everything. And that is it with the honorable mentions. Now let's jump into the top 10. Number 10, Silk Dragon Jasmine, which is an organic green tea blend, and just pretty much to the point, green tea and the jasmine flowers, scented jasmine flowers. This one is an in-your-face jasmine green tea. I mean, if you like that, then you're gonna like this. It'd be super floral, and I'm a fan of some floral teas. Jasmine, not as much. So I like chamomile and hibiscus, and you know, the rose petals. I like that a little bit more with certain teas, but I do like jasmine green tea. This one was just so in your face with the jasmine. If the green tea was more up front with you and more either the background, more at the end of the notes or something like that, it probably would have been higher on my list. I did like it. It's a nice green tea. The jasmine is definitely, like I said, it's very powerful. It's there, it's present, it's nice as well. It's just a little bit too powerful for me in a sense, but I liked it enough. It is number 10 on the list. Silk Dragon Jasmine. Now let's jump into number 9. Number 9, Candy Cane Crush. It's a minty holiday classic, it says. It's a black tea, a lot of other flavor blends going in there. I'll put up the ingredients, of course, everything here on the side. And also I did a review of this one, so check out the links for the full review of this one. And this one is minty, just minty, minty, minty. Very powerful with the mint. If you're looking for that in a tea, a black tea or something with a lot of mint in it, this is the one to go to. If mint is too powerful, like if you don't want that powerful mint that's really in your face, in your taste buds, in your nasal cavity, just taking over, this one may be a little bit too much for you. Creamy, it's smooth, it's got some sweetness up front that tapers off, and the black tea flavor comes in towards the end with this one. So that is number 9, Candy Cane Crush. Number 8. Sunny C. Sunny C says a citrus immune boost. Now this one I had iced as well, and a lot because this one has this advent calendar in general. We'll talk about it a little bit more at the end. Has a lot of fruit infusions. So fruit infusions sometimes tend to be better iced than hot. Sometimes both. They're great both ways. Sometimes they're better either way. Usually I find that they're a little bit better iced in a sense, but sometimes it's the other way around. This one was great iced. It tasted like some kind of orange juice, and not just like a fake orange juice, like a fresh citrus orange juice. It was kind of reminds you of like one of those fruit punches that has like orange juice in it, in a sense. And it was a blend with like white grapes and some other fruits or something like that. Slightly tart, but more of that bright citrus fruit flavor. And it had some mellow but present sweetness throughout this one, but not too sweet. Definitely try this one iced if that sounds appeasing to you. And number 7, got hot chocolate. Now this one was a pu-erh tea. I did a full review on this one in the links, and hot chocolate. And this one had pu-erh, black tea, chocolate, all blended well together. I mean, they shook hands, they high-fived, they hugged. This was a nice overall tea. If any of those flavors sound good to you, if you're like against chocolate in your teas, you're obviously not gonna like this one. If you're fine with having chocolate in your teas, definitely check this one out. It's pu-erh tea. Black tea as well. So some of these teas do have stevia in them, and I don't think it's really necessarily needed with some of the other ingredients in the blend, but I didn't taste the stevia too much in this one, and that is number 7, hot chocolate. Number 6, Alpine Punch. Now this is a rooibos tea. It says fruity, almond, and spice. This one had that smooth, nice flavor of rooibos. If you've had just a general nice rooibos before, that's what I'm talking about. And then had the vanilla in there, which pairs well with it. If you have rooibos, you probably had one with vanilla or cinnamon or both. Rooibos goes very well with vanilla and with cinnamon, and it does the same thing in this one. And let me tell you, this was probably the best smelling, or one of the best smelling teas in this advent calendar to me. When I opened this one up, wow, that just nice, smooth, sweet notes of the vanilla, the rooibos. It just blended so well together. Smelled great. The almond in this one wasn't one of the almond taste that was just kind of like in your face almond. It was more of that mellow kind of almond taste in it. This one wasn't that spicy to me. There's another one here coming up next, number 5, that was definitely spicy. This one had little spicy notes to it. Nothing super tingly really that stood out. The main thing that stood out was that mellowness of the rooibos, the sweetness there, somewhat of it, and the vanilla. That's what definitely stood out. And the smell of it went on after steeping it. Not as powerful, but it was definitely there, present, and welcoming. Number 5. Talk about spicy. Super ginger. This one, tingling sensations throughout with this one. Spicy, very spicy. This one would probably be great if you were sick with some kind of a cold or a sore throat or nausea even, because it does have ginger in it. And definitely, with some of those other things, like I said, it definitely had that tingling, open you up sensation that I believe would do the job of really kick you in the face in a good way to knock out some of that cold and sore throat or whatever else you got dealing with, the achiness, With that ginger in here, and the black pepper, and the white pepper, the pink peppercorn, spicy. Now definitely, if you like the spicy tea, spicy rooibos, check this one out. If spiciness is too much for you, you've been warned. This one, that's number 5, super ginger, and it's organic, which is always a bonus and a plus in my book. Number 4 is Palma Grateful, and this one I did a review on. And it's a white tea, but it kind of came with that tartness, that sweetness of the pineapple and the rose petals. It had the little floral scents in it. It had the hibiscus, so you had the floralness of it. It was nice and mellow. Kind of made it where it wasn't too tart or too, fruity with the flavors and everything. Because you had that pomegranate in it. You definitely taste that. And the white tea, I would say, it was in the background of the other flavors. You had the pineapple, the fruitiness, the pomegranate, the slight tartness, and you had the floralness, and you had the white tea just hanging out and saying, yeah, this is a white tea, but I'm not really going to be reminding you that anymore. That was it. And this one reminded me of the Magic Potion tea by DAVIDsTEA as well. I didn't add any lemon to it, so I don't know if it changed colors. I don't think so, because that one had the the Magic Potion had the butterfly pea which helped it change the color and everything. This one does not have that in there, so probably won't change color. But regardless, it reminded me of that one in taste, and it was a good one. I would like this one even more, I think, if the white tea was more in the center stage. It came up at least more in the beginning or in the middle, somewhere throughout the taste profile of this one, because I'm a big fan of white tea. So if it came up more, this one would probably be higher on the list, but it's at number 4, so yeah, I definitely did like it. That is Palma Grateful. Number 3, shh, is Santa's Secret. Santa's Secret is a black tea that leads in a bold way up front, and then you have that mintiness and the sweetness that comes in both together, back up, about on the same level, with the black tea overall holding it close, holding it together. If that's this one, like, if you like a minty black tea with some sweetness to it, but you don't want it too minty, not too sweet, this is the one you would go to, I would think. You know, if you're looking for, you know, one of those teas like in DAVIDsTEA, or just in general, you know, Santa's Secret was definitely a festive, minty, sweet, not overabundance in those tea though. Definitely festive. This one I did a review on as well, so check that one out. If you're looking for something more minty, Candy Cane Crush would be the one. If you're looking for something less minty, Santa's Secret would be the one. They both have that kind of some other things in common, but as far as like with the mintiness, that's up front with the Candy Cane Crush. The Santa's Secret more in the background. And that is it. Number 3, Santa's Secret. Number 2, White Cranberry Bark. This one, fruity, bright fruit infusions. It's tart, creamy, decadent. It had a nice blend of in-your-face fruit flavor notes, and then it had, but the mellowness of the cream and the chocolate, it just kind of evens it out. It had that white chocolate in there, so not that chocolate like the hot chocolate tea, that kind of chocolate, not that dark chocolate like that one. The hot chocolate tea I was mentioning earlier, that was number 7, has that dark chocolate flavor to it. This one has that more like sweet, decadent. I mean, decadent is one of the descriptions of it. Yeah, it's true. One of the sweet, decadent like chocolate flavors in that, which that white chocolate typically is sweeter than just, you know, regular dark chocolate or milk chocolate or something like that. And that one, yeah, definitely has this one in here. You know, leads with the fruit. If I would have removed the stevia, I think that flavor kind of takes away some of the sweet, not this, I don't want to say takes away the sweetness. I mean, it adds to the sweetness, but it takes away from the flavor notes of the sweetness that is brought onto you by the apple, by the cranberries, by the elderberries and things like that. So I don't think the stevia was needed amongst the other ingredients that were in here, but hey, it's number 2 on the list. So yeah, definitely like this one. This one is great. Hot or iced, white cranberry bark, number 2. And this is it, folks. Time for it. Number 1. Now this one surprised me the most out of the other teas. You know, some of the teas you read the description, you know kind of what to expect in a sense. You may know like, I might not like this one too much, or this one sounds like something that's in my avenue. Probably gonna like this one unless it just really throws a curveball at me or something. And some of them sound interesting, and you're like, well, with that ingredient and that ingredient, I might like that or something like that. One of the other ones that kind of surprised me though was that maple syrup oolong. I thought maple syrup in the tea. I was like, oolong, no, I like oolong. And it surprised me. It was a good one. Not one I would have every day, like I said, but you know, sometimes. But anyways, back to number 1. Number 1 surprised me because it mentioned eggnog. Yes, that's right. Number 1, Let It Snow. And this one says spiced eggnog. And I'm not a big fan of eggnog. I'm not anti-eggnog. It's just not something I have in my fridge, or nobody really in the family that I live with here likes eggnog. So it's not in our fridge. But we're not anti-eggnog. Well, at least I'm not anti-eggnog. But so this one, Let It Snow, is a green tea with of course, other blends in it. It did not have an egg flavor to it. Did not have a sourness flavor, I guess, that eggnog has to it. But this one was bright, leads with that fruit and that green tea. And the green tea is kind of earthy. And then it has the creaminess that comes in and combines with the other flavors in this one. So you got bright, fruity, green, and you have that smooth chocolate and vanilla flavors. There's some light spiciness that goes on with this one, and overall mellow but present sweetness with this one. I did a full review on this one, so more detail on that. We can definitely check out that review. And this one, you know, like this is another one I would remove the stevia. There's other flavors in here that are working well together. Don't need the stevia. I'm not anti-stevia. Just sometimes it may just throw off the flavor a little bit because stevia has its own flavor. And I know stevia does have like some health benefits and everything. So yeah, I'm definitely not knocking stevia in a sense. It's just that sometimes with some of the other flavors and whatnot, it kind of take away from those flavor profiles that are trying to lead the charge. But this one, it does it too much, just slightly, barely. I mean, you won't even taste it in every sip. At least I did. So yeah, this one surprised me. Because I saw green tea and I thought, yeah, like green tea, and I saw spiced eggnog, and I was like, what? You know, but I did not taste anything that was throwing me off as far. Maybe I like eggnog. I need to try it, I guess, again. It's been a little while. But bright, fruity, green, smooth, some creaminess. Let us know. This is my #1 tea in the DAVIDsTEA Advent Calendar of 2019. And that is it with the top 10, folks. Overall, with this Advent Calendar, I liked it because, in a sense, I mean, there were some teas in here that I wouldn't necessarily have bought like a 2 ounce or 4 ounce of, you know, pack of, you know, just because I'm just like, I'm not super big into like fruit infusions in general. I do like fruit infusions, don't get me wrong, but I typically like them in a sense more when they're led by a green tea or white tea or some kind of tea, you know, either the first or second ingredient. Then I'm on board more with the fruit infusion. Just fruit infusions by themselves, just without any tea, unless I'm looking for like an iced herbal, I guess that, well, you wouldn't be an herbal tea really, an iced fruit infusion, then yeah, I'm gonna look for a fruit infusion. But typically I would get one with a tea in it. So this calendar opened me up to some fruit infusions that I would not have otherwise probably tried. And then it had a couple other, and it had some roboses in there that I haven't had before, so that was great. Roboses, is that the plural sense of robos, or is it robi? I don't know, but yeah. So it had some robos tea in here that I did like, I haven't had before, so that was great. And this was just a nice Advent calendar box. I mean, just looking at it just physically, I mean, it held up well. As you see, you know, I was opening and closing this thing multiple times, and you know, still there, still functional, still present. Had the ingredients and everything listed all on the back. So yeah, and I like the design of it. It held up well, stands up. This is a nice physical, did like that. And like I said, it had some teas in there, and I wouldn't typically have tried. Then it had some staples of the DAVIDsTEA. You know, you had some of the black teas and the cream of Earl Greys and the breakfast blends. So it had some of those, you know, had before or whatnot. But definitely had some green passion fruit. You know, I could try to go over. I won't go over everyone I've had before. But so yeah, it has some I guess some of their fan favorites and whatnot. Then it had some, you know, newer ones. And so overall, satisfied with the calendar. It's actually on sale now at the DAVIDsTEA semi-annual sale. So I think it's like 20 something, maybe $24, 20 something dollars. Regular price, $40. So that is it with my top 10 favorite teas in the DAVIDsTEA 2019 Advent Calendar. Hope you have a happy new year, awesome 2020, filled with good vibes, good health, and more tea, more great tea. Take care.